fire spreads out of control. Place fire in a space adjacent to a space containing fire. So we've got the fire here. So I'm going to put it here. Rita Young jerks. Some insect stings her neck. The wound is tiny, but releases a foul green pus. Rita Young suffers 1 face down damage and 1 horror. That's her first damage. She's now on 4 horror. Now we take 1 more. Right. I think what I need to do is get Harvey over to her and do his Instill Bravery spell. That will discard 1 horror card. That's as long as she doesn't suffer any more horror before we can get there. No, that's the Mythos Phase over. Good. 1, 2. Right. Unfortunately, Harvey's not going to be able to get there. I really need to get rid of that horror. So Rita's going to come to Harvey. Instill Bravery. You are another investigator within range. But even if he gets to here, he's not in range because it's classed as a different room. So Rita is going to move 1, 2, 3. And she'll may as well move again. Harvey will then do his Instill Bravery. Instill Bravery cards, so we'll mix them. We'll pick that one. You are another investigator. Within range, discard. So she discards the horror. And we flip the card. The sound of bells rings in your ears. Law. Law is 4. Three, great. And he needed 3. If you pass, you draw comfort from the music of the cosmos. Flip 1 horror face down. He didn't have any face up anyway. And then discard that. We'll mix that back in to the others. That's Harvey's first action. For his second action, he's going to do the same again. So Rita will discard another horror. This one. Oh, no, it is different. You glimpse a white ship on the sea. Law 3 again. Wow, these are hard. Roll 1 additional dice when casting a spell. Oh, so that means you will actually get 5. Yes! If you pass, a strange sense of peace settles upon you. Discard a horror. Excellent. So he gets to discard 1 as well. Okay, so we didn't do much that round, but at least we got rid of a fair bit of horror. Back to the Mythos Phase. The fire spreads out of control again. We'll spread it over here this time. This Mythos event affects the investigator with the most evidence. Harvey's got 2 pieces of evidence. And Rita's got the 1, so it's going to affect Harvey. As the pieces fall into place, you start to understand that old Whately has made a beast of enormous power and has yet to perfect its presence in the world. As if thinking about it called its attention to you, a great invisible limb bowls you over onto the ground. Suffer 1 damage and 1 horror. Law negates. Law of 4. Absolutely nothing you can do with that, so he's going to suffer 1 damage and 1 horror. The damage is just a minor injury, only a flesh wound. Resolve immediately, no additional effect. Flip this card face down. Well, that is 5th damage. The horror, Kleptomania. You do not understand why you need to keep stealing things, but you cannot help yourself. Keep face up. Whenever you end your turn in a space with another investigator, take 1 item at random from another investigator in your space. So he's taken 5 damage. So we discard his damage. And he is now wounded. You cannot perform the move action more than once each round. When you have suffered damage equal to your health, you are eliminated. That's bad. Back to the investigators. Oh, Harvey. He's going to do his 1 move. 1, 2. And that's all he can do. Rita. He's going to move 1, 2, 3. And she will move 1, 2, 3 into here. That's the end of the investigator phase. Fire spreads out of control again. Spread into there. And it's going to spread into here as well. In the distance you hear sudden screams and howls of rage. The sound is gone as soon as it begins. This Mythos event affects the investigator with the lowest will. We've both got the same will. So we'll choose who takes it. Let's see, your vision tints red and a powerful anger courses through you. So for 2 horror, will negates. I think Harvey's going to take it. Will -1. That's 3 dice. One success. So he takes 1 horror. Minor shock. Your heart races and your breath catches in your throat. No additional effect. Put it face down. Yeah. He has 4 horror. In your fury, you lash out at your companions. For each horror you suffer, each other investigator in your space suffers 1 damage. Luckily there's nobody in his space. Cult member bearing a silver key glyph on their hand melts out of the dark forest. We have a dark druid appearing here. The dark druid moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Then it attacks the investigator in its space with the highest. No investigator in the space. So it moves 2. 1, 2. No investigator in the space. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range. So, this dark druid, Harvey turns and sees the dark druid coming towards him. He needs to do a horror check. The druid coughs wetly, then rummages and produces a quivering beetle the size of a human hand. The crunching sound as the druid bites down on the insect shoots straight through your ears and into your bowels. So for 2 face down horror, will negates. His will is 4. success, so he takes 1 face down horror. And that's going to be the end of the Mythos phase. Back to the investigators. Well, we're not doing too well, I don't think. Right. Harvey. He's going to use his shriveling spell to attack the Druid. You bring the heels of your palms together and draw them back. A ball of glowing energy coalescing in your hands. You speak the words to power the curse. Law. 4 dice plus the extra dice for the ritual dagger. Oh, come on! If you fail, you stutter while speaking the incantation and the ball of energy explodes in front of you. You and each other investigator in your space suffers 1 face down damage. Great. Flip the spell. You feel for a moment as if the strange boils and lesions have taken hold within your brain. Suffer 1 face down horror. Things are just going from bad to worse. He's going to try again. That's better. Oops. That's 3 hits. That's 3 successes, I should say. You try to sound your way through the alien words. Law 2. You are struck with sudden and blasphemous understanding, and you no longer mimic sounds, but shout the invocation with keen purpose. The monster suffers damage equal to the test, +1. So he scored 3 +1, so that is going to kill the Druid. Confirm. Gone. Phew. Rita is going to take a look at that. Something left an enormous footprint in the soft loam of the meadow. Whatever left this track left it recently. Gain 1 clue. First action, a second action will be to move to here. In fact, she's going to move to here. And she will see what's further down. The ground slopes steadily higher in this direction. Out of the forest rises a steep hill, capped with a strange circle of standing stones. There's the ritual site in the graveyard. A few graves sit at the foot of Sentinel Hill, headstones unmarked and recently toppled by something large passing through. Down one side of Sentinel Hill is a dark streak, as if death drew his fingers through the grass there. In the centre of the ring of standing stones is an altar. Something upon the altar is glowing violet. Okay, so that's her second action. And that's the end of the investigator phase. The fire spreads out of control. Ooh. It's going to Your investigation has gone on too long and your strength is ebbing. Each investigator flips 2 damage face up. She's only got the 1 damage, but she's broke her leg. Awesome. You fall as pain lances up your leg. When you try to stand, you fall all over again. If you move more than a single space as part of a move action, flip 1 damage face up. Harvey also has just the 1, which is minor injury. So he's okay. So we're taking too long. A monster bearing the twisted appearance of an old Whately creation slips free from the forest shadows. Amigo here. Amigo moves up to 2 spaces to be within range of as many investigators as possible. Then it attacks the investigator within range with the highest agility. Right, he's going to have to head towards Rita. Moves 2 spaces, so it will move 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, it's within range. The monster attacks. The alien thing rears up on its hindmost limbs and hoists up a large, irregular shaped device like a stone covered with silver wires. Fast as a whip, the device sends out sharpened tendrils, retracting them just as quickly. Suffer 3 damage. Agility negates. So her agility is 4. Right, she will spend 2 clues. She'll spend 2 clues to negate 2 of those damage. If you suffer 2 or more damage, one of them, so she didn't, so she just suffers the 1 damage. Disfigured. You cannot bring yourself to look in a mirror. The look on people's faces tells you all you need to know. Keep face up, roll 1 fewer die while resolving an influence test. Well, I don't think she'll be needing to do that in this game, so that's fine. She must resolve a horror check. Skittering in a circle, the thing produces a dull leaden jar, then shoves a human brain into it with jerky, sudden movements. Suffer 2 horror, will negates. Okay, her will is 4. And she passes. That's the end of the Mythos phase. Things are not looking good at all. So we will start with Harvey. You can move across the bridge. 1, 2, that's as far as he can move. And he'll check this out. The wide-eyed whippoorwills grow silent as you approach the violet glow beneath the ancient oak tree. The birds burst into flight as you approach, whirling around you in a confusion of beaks and feathers. You struggle to press on through their assault. Agility. Roll 2 extra dice if you have suffered no damage. Well, that's not going to happen. So his agility is 2. Oh, wow. 2 successes. Oops. Successes. You duck beneath the screaming birds and reach the trunk of the tree. Hung on a low branch is a flashing pendant, glowing with violent energy. You lift the necklace to see a familiar key symbol etched into its back, and the glow fades. Gain the Cult Sigil unique item. Zebulon comes across the bridge to join Harvey. Always hated these vermin. They steal a man's last breath if they can catch hold of it. We should be close to the end of this nightmare, and you have done well up until now. No losing hope. Well, that's easy for him to say, because I'm definitely losing hope. Right, so Rita is going to pick up the Bible. Two face down horror, so she's not too bad at the moment. She doesn't need to use it. For her second action, Rita is going to shoot at the Migo. In one swift motion, you raise your weapon and fire. Unwilling to waste a moment, you let instinct guide your aim. Agility 4. Come on, Rita. 2 hits. Your trust in your abilities pays off, and the creature recoils at the shot's impact. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage. So he suffers 3 damage. That's it, and that's the end of the investigator phase.